It's a very historic day for Tamil Nadu. On the one hand, you have the national education policy. There's been a slugfest between Dharmendra Pradhan, actually the centre, and Muka Stalin, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. And today, Muka Stalin actually unveiled the state education policy and made some points rejecting NEP. Let's talk to the expert, Dr. Nisha Nujumuddin, educationist and professor of practice, BSA Crescent University. A very warm welcome to you, Nisha, for joining us on this broadcast. What are your first thoughts? I mean, according to Stalin and according to a lot of experts, the state should have a right to fashion an education policy, keeping the culture and the needs of its region, its area. Therefore, Tamil Nadu there, Muka Stalin and also his father, they rejected the three-language formula, sticking to Tamil and English. They are saying no to centralized exams. They are saying no to examination for class 3, 5 and 8. Your initial thoughts, Dr. Nisha.
So the state education policy versus the NEP, that is national education policy, it appears to be like Hindi versus Tamil, or let's say center versus state. That's a kind of ideological perspective that has been brought out to people. But I would like to say a few things on that. See, be it the NEP or be it the SEP. So SEP has come due to the fact that, certain things in NEP was not welcome by the Tamil Nadu government, for the fact that the three language formula, they felt it quite imposing in nature. See, any language, it's always welcome in Tamil Nadu, but imposition is not acceptable, right? So when you try to impose another language, one language, for example, Hindi, as what is going on, that is not welcoming. And now to talk about the NEP, as we all know, we know that it provides a kind of very unified framework where across state, and it is having a very good integration perspective and all. But talking about the SCP, I would like to say that this SCP is actually protecting the linguistics rights of Tamil Nadu, whereas they're preventing the imposition of any language on them, which that is the whole point they wanted to make. And now when you talk that the so-called NEP is favoring, or it is like pushing or forcing the three language formula, thereby encouraging the multilingual skills and national integration. The SCP is very particular. The state policy is very particular on making that they want to promote the regional relevance and the autonomy. Thereby, they're rejecting one size that fits all the policies. That's what they're trying to say. And if you see, the Tamil Nadu SCP is also promoting a child-centric pedagogy, I would say, because they avoiding the exam, that is the exam pressure at a very early stage, because NEP has the 3 plus 5, 5 plus 3 plus 3 like that, right? Wherein here we are following the common 10th and 12th board exams, and they feel that this is kind of giving more importance to that so-called exam pressure to the children at a very early
Yeah,
age.
let me come back to
And
you. Nisha, Dr. Nisha, I am also joined by my colleague Thoya Jakshi. Let me now go across to Thoya Jakshi to speak more on the issue. Thoya, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Thoya, how's the reaction been so far? What are you hearing on the ground? Are the children happy, or there is no reaction? And, what is the scenario? What is the mood like in Tamil Nadu today?
Well, yes, Sudha, like we all know that the Chief Minister has released Tamil Nadu state education policy for school education on this two-language formula, where Tamil Nadu today, has witnessed that, the state education policy for school students in the state's two-language policy of teaching only Tamil and English, now this policy has been designed keeping in mind Tamil Nadu's unique character and its aim to preparing students for the future with a vision. That's what the Chief Minister has mentioned in today's speech. On the other hand, the opposition, when we also saw that former BJP president Annamalai has also tweeted stating that Chief Minister has again staged a drama. This is what he has tweeted, where he states that the Chief Minister is taking these kind of schemes, and he also stated that this is one of the dramas that the Chief Minister is stating ahead of 2026 elections, where he also stated that the Chief Minister likes to bring the state government, solely, he wants to make it as a public publicity. That is why he's staging these kind of dramas, and this is why he's been, talking
Okay,
about
but
the
then
state
drama, but
education
drama
policy.
in an election year, Toya, seems like very, very wanted. I mean, it's a requirement. We'll have to wait and watch whether this really works to Stalin's favor. Thank you very much, Toya, for joining us on the broadcast. Now, let me go back to Dr. Nisha. Dr. Nisha, to say no to centralized entrance exams. Now, they are saying that undergraduate admissions to be based on class 11 and 12 marks. What is your opinion on that? Now, centralized exams are basically to create a kind of a level playing field, as it were. Now, your board can be very different from my board, and someone else who's in ICSE or state board, CBSE, government school, etc., etc., etc. Now, I just don't understand that, what could Stalin be thinking about centralized, saying no to centralized entrance exams, because NEET also he says that my kid studies in Tamil till class 8 or class 9, then he or she has a problem sitting for NEET.
See, the whole idea why the Tamil Nadu government has come up with the so-called SEP for the fact that they wanted the board exams to be given more attention is because they feel that the exam pressures for a child, the very early stage would be too much, and now all this NEET and again the exams are also causing double the pressure for the children, where the mental stability has also been affected. Multiple exams, multiple levels they are put through. At the end of the day, if you see the number of suicide cases where a student has not cleared the NEET exam or whatever, that is also on the high rise. And now again, as you said, such kind of NEET exams again is a common entrance platform where you can test a child in a very unified way. But then adding a point to that, Tamil Nadu government is also very particular that they never said no to NEET, but based on the previous experiences that they faced, they wanted to make a point very clear that 10th and 12th could be a base mark. As you noted clearly pointed out, Sudaji, I would say that the board of Tamil Nadu will be different from that of another state. But why they said no to NEET is because, or let's say they say let's have the admissions based on 11th and 12th. See, we focus on quality education, we focus on vocational training, we
Let's
focus
go.
on practical training, right?
Right.
Adding a point
Also,
to that.
and I just want to go to the next point and quickly finish everything. The next is no to public exams in classes 3, 5 and 8, because the state education policy calls it regressive. Seriously, Dr. Nisha? I can understand class 3, but class 8? No to public exams in classes 3, 5 and 8. Do you think that's regressive? Do you think that is taking away a child from what is called his or her culture, or throwing them in the midst of what is called cruel competition, Dr. Nisha?
See, the whole point, and as I mentioned before, see, early education, 3 to 6 years, and then having the exams at the class 8, it's boosting a foundational learning for the children. But at the same time, the Tamil Nadu government was very particular, and the kind of argument they bring in is that when they focus on the so-called early development, that is, they promote child-centric pedagogy, wherein they are able to avoid the exam pressures at an early stage. See, class 8 student will be hardly like to 13-year-old, right? So they don't want to put a pressure on a 12, 13-year-old, taking into consideration the current student's mindset, wherein
Take
they
pressure
wanted to
at
make sure that
15.
10th and 11th, yeah.
How will
Sorry?
the child take pressure at 15 years of age if 13 you don't
Pressure
want to?
at 15. Rather, I would say that a little more mature, they are enough to face the so-called, exam perspective, because they're used to that 10th and 12th perspective. But let me put a very simple and common point here, Sudaji. See, both the policies, okay. At the end of the day, if you look at it, it is very balanced, I would say, as a public policy expert also, for the fact that digital integration that is emphasized in NEP as well as SEP. In both policies, you can see that. And the only fact is that has been incorporated via two different models. For example, in NEP, if you're following that digital integration via Diksha platform, in SCP, the Tamil Nadu government is doing it via TN Spark. At the same time, both NEP and SCP, they're aiming for equity and also the equal access. So, but the only point is, if NEP is central supported, or SCP is state supported.
Well,
And
let's.
finally, I can't say that SCP doesn't or NEP does SCP is against the early childhood care for a student. Both again focus on early childhood care. There is no doubt about it. But they do that through the age entry and through the method. It is the
All
people
right.
that
On
it
that.
makes it as
On.
central versus state in Hindi
Right.
versus Tamil. So we
On.
should put a stop to such kind of arguments. And I would have a small suggestion is that in NEP, it should be a little flexible for the fact that it is for all the state. So when such kind of flexibility is coming in, when amendments can be made, automatically such kind of state policies will not come up as a kind of contradiction to the existing NEP. So we
On
need
that
to
note.
understand that certain flexibility can enable the NEP to be in a better way. So such kind of SEP do not pop up and create an issue with regard to the state or central perspective and the language perspective.